Hey guys, I'm back once again. This is part 2 of my top 10 favorite teen movies. I'm going to go and get right into it. The next movie I'm going to talk about is without a doubt one of my top favorite movies of all time. I also love the book. It's probably my favorite novel to read. I read it back in 7th grade and I just loved it. It's considered one of the best young adult novels ever written. But I'm going to go into it. I actually did a review for this movie on my channel, so I'm not going to talk a lot about the movie, but it is The Outsiders, which stars C. Thomas Howell, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, Ralph Macchio, pretty much any young actor that was big at the time is in this film. It was based on the book by S.E. Hinton, who I'm a big fan of her work. I've pretty much read almost all of her books, except for some of her children's books, which I'm really not really interested in reading. But yeah, this is an amazing film. I really relate to this film so much. It's basically about feeling like you don't belong in the world, feeling like you don't have a place, and trying to belong and trying to feel like you're worth something in this world. And I can really relate a lot to Ponyboy, his character, C. Thomas Howell's character. He's probably one of my favorite characters in a movie. And yeah, I relate to him a lot. Just all the whole characters. And this is like typical rich versus poor type of film. The poor kids are the ones that are always stepped on. They're not not really considered people in this movie. And I really like this movie. It's got a good message to society. In my opinion, it's a really amazing film. If you have not watched this film, I highly recommend it. The Outsiders. Alright, now the next one, some people could say that this is more of a teen comedy, but I think that this movie is a lot more mature than other teen comedies. I think it's got a lot more heart, in my opinion, and it's American Pie. And this one, I saw this one back when I was really young, probably too young, and it's basically about, basically a group of guys. They want to lose their virginity by prom night, and how good they are with girls and stuff. And I can really relate to some of the characters in this movie. I can relate to Jim a lot because I'm really this kind of shy, nice guy that is never really good with girls. And then when he finally gets a girl, he ends up getting Shannon Elizabeth's character, Nadia, and he blows it completely. And that's pretty much how I am with girls, mostly. But yeah, this movie I really relate a lot to this movie. It's one of the funniest movies. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time. Definitely love this one, American Pie. Alright, now the next. Alright. Now the next 3 movies I'm going to talk about are, in my opinion, they are the best teen movies of all time. These are the movies that I'm pretty sure whenever people think about, teenage life, these are the ones that they come to. So, yeah, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. It was really hard for me to find, how to do this, what order to put these 3 movies in. So instead of saying, oh, this is number 3, this is number 2, this is number 1, I'm just going to say these 3 are just the 3 best teen movies. So, for the first one I want to talk about, American Graffiti. Now this movie is amazing. Of course, it's set in the 60s, which is one of my favorite time periods, right behind the 70s. I love that time period. I love the music in it. I love the classic music. I love the way the classic cars look, and of course they're cruising throughout the entire movie. Really great one. Richard Dreyfuss and Ron Howard are both awesome in the movie. And this movie is like one of those stand-still movies. It's like right when you get out of high school, you can't really decide on what you're doing with your life, whether or not you want to go into the so-called the real world and move on and start doing getting a job, or maybe going out and going to college, which is of course what Ron Howard's character really wants to do throughout the whole movie. I'm not going to give away exactly what happens for people that have not seen it, but if you love movies about coming of age films, just that, and if you just love the 60s, then this is the definite movie for it. I can go on and on talking about this movie, but I'll just say American Graffiti. Now the next one, this is again one of my top 10 favorite movies. Like American Graffiti, it's not set in the 60s, it's set in the 70s. Dazed and Confused. Now this movie it's considered the best, the most dead-on portrait of American teenage life, and it really is, because I could have literally walked into my high school and saw people like act like this. Not like they in the 70s, but this is really how teenagers acted. They hung around with their friends, they just drove around, they smoked pot, they drank beer, just teenage stuff. And they just hung out and really did nothing. Mostly, unless a party was going on, or unless, they got off work one day and they just wanted to go hang out with their friends. And this movie captured that so well. I love this film for it. There's so many, memorable scenes in it, of course, with scenes with Ben Affleck trying to slap all the kids on the ass with the paddle. And then, of course, Matthew McConaughey's character in it is awesome. It's what I love about all those teenage girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age. It's always a great, 1976 was the date this movie takes place, and I love the 70s. I love that time period. Of course, all the music is the best. The best music of the 70s, all classic rock bands, all everything. This movie is, in my opinion, the perfect teen movie of the 70s. Even though it wasn't made in the 70s, but, Dazed and Confused. And the last one, everybody has called this the best teen movie of all time, and I definitely have to say that it truly is. The Breakfast Club. Now this movie, of course, again, one of my favorite ones, just captures every essence of teenage life in high school. It captures it. You got the nerdy character, you got the prom queen, you got the goth emo, you got the jock, and then of course you got the rebel. And it has all five of those characters, in one film, and you put them all together, and they butt heads with each other, and you really see what makes them all completely different, and what makes them all, entirely hate each other, but at the same time, you also see all the things that make them the same. And at the very end, they all end up coming together, which I really think is a good message to everyone. I really think that at the end, everybody should just come together, and everybody should just be cool with one another, Like me, I'm friends with a lot of different people. I'm friends with, stoners, I'm friends with goths, I'm friends with, everybody in movies. I don't judge people by how they look. I judge people on, how they act, and if they're cool with me, then I'm cool with them. And this is the definite movie that is the definite message of that. And of course, all the characters are so memorable. My favorite scene is probably when they're all sitting around in the circle, and they're just talking, and they're all each talking about why they're at detention, and that's when you really see them getting close and getting emotional. So yeah, this is definitely a great movie, and probably the best teen movie of all time. And of course, Emilio Estevez is great in it. Anthony Michael Hall, Molly Ringwald, Judd Nelson, Ali Shetty, and and Pauly Gleason's character is always, you gotta laugh at his character in the movie. You mess with the boy, you get the horn, son. You get the horn, son. Love this character. Next time I come back and hear him cracking skulls. But that is it. That is my top 10 favorite teen movies. These are the movies that I feel like capture what it's like to be a teenager, for me at least. So anyway guys, thanks to everyone for watching. Feel free to subscribe and comment down below on what you think are your favorite teen movies. And if I missed any of them, please let me know. But anyway guys, thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you all later.